Graham Butler, aged 8, strangled. Jenny Price, aged 9, strangled. 6 weeks on, no progress. Enter new broom. Or new scapegoat, Meadows. Pressure from above.
There always is, sir.
So you mustn't mind if I press you. All of you. Nothing personal, I hardly know you yet, okay?
Yes, yeah.
How many interviews would you say you conducted in the course of the inquiry, Tosh?
Me personally, God knows. Dozens.
And all routine? None you felt needed following up?
What do you mean, sir?
Well, I've been doing my homework. Looking at who interviewed who. And yours are all NFAs. Eliminated from the inquiry.
Well, screened out, yeah. I mean, it's boring, but true. I just never struck lucky. I do, neither did anybody else.
Not yet. I'm in a bit of an awkward position, Tosh. Brought into the team like this. Could sound like I'm telling people how to suck eggs.
Could it?
Because I asked myself what seems to me to be a very obvious question. What kind of man are we looking for?
What kind of man strangles young kids?
I don't mean his psychology. I mean on the surface, his demeanor. Jenny Price was a sensible girl, on her guard even after the first murder. So unless he jumped out from behind a dustbin, our man spoke to her. Gained her confidence, no matter how briefly. What kind of man could do that, hmm? Someone who's used to dealing with kids, surely. Someone they trust. Is that reasonable?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
You appear to have interviewed a man like that, Tosh. The schoolkeeper at North Hill Primary. The school young Graham Butler went to.
Peter Angel?
Hmm. From his statement, he appears to have been passed over more than screened out.
No, hang on, Goodwin. Come on, I mean...
You're beginning to take this personally, Tosh. I told you, it's not personal. I'm trying to look at this objectively. And here we have a man who has daily access to hundreds of children. He works at the school attended by one of the murder victims. But what do we know about him? What do you know about him? For example, you don't appear to have asked him about his family life. Is he married?
Yes, sir.
Children?
No.
A married man of 38. Why not?
I don't know.
You didn't think it relevant to find out?
He's a quiet bloke who unblocks the labs and brings in the milk, and that's about it.
You've had dealings before the murder inquiry?
Well, a couple of times, yes. I mean, school break-ins, that sort of thing.
How long has he been a schoolkeeper?
Well, North Hill, 3 years.
Do you know why he became a schoolkeeper?
Yeah, because it's a steady job and he gets a house thrown in.
He's told you that?
No, sir, his wife did.
Has he told you what he did before?
No, sir.
Well, I'll tell you then. He and his wife were house parents in a children's home in West London. They resigned.
So?
So can you tell me why you didn't ask these questions yourself? And can you tell me why Mr. Angel wasn't questioned again after Jenny Price was killed?
Because he wasn't a witness or a suspect, sir.
This is a murder inquiry, Tosh. We don't let a man through on the knob because he unblocks the lavs.
You can do mine and all while you're at it.
Oh, hello.
Hiya. Maureen gets cold knees, does she?
Nah, it's the dogs.
I didn't know you got a dog.
Recent addition.
Oh. Oh, Peter, you know you gave us those statements a few weeks back, just after Graham Butler was found?
Caught someone?
No, we haven't actually. Look, I know it's a bit of a drag, but I wonder if you could spare us a bit more of your time.
So you've no complaints about Mr. Angel's behaviour?
In what way?
Well, in respect of the children.
If you mean, does he touch them? Certainly not. He scarcely even smiles at them. He does his job thoroughly, otherwise keeps himself to himself. Except for the football, that is.
Football?
Yes, he takes football practice. We've been short of a male member of staff since the beginning of the year, and Peter agreed to fill the breach. I think his wife pushed him into it, actually.
As I expect DC Lyons told you, Peter, this chat is purely for my benefit because I'm new and I'm trying to build up a picture of the case. I'm very grateful to you for sparing me some time.
Sure.
You don't mind if we make some notes?
No?
Great.
Okay,
yeah. One or two questions I put to you may seem a bit personal. I hope you'll bear with me in that case. What may seem irrelevant or downright nosy to you could help me a lot. Is that okay?
I don't see there's what else I can tell you.
Well, you could tell me about running North Hill football team. How come you never mentioned it to DC Lines?
You never asked.
I understand young Graham Butler was in the team.
No, it's too small. Only 8.
But he came to the practice sessions. Did you like him?
Yes, I did. He was a nice lad.
Nice. What, in any particular way?
No. Keen. Plenty of life. Not too lippy. Just nice.
Did you see anything of him outside school, other than football?
No. You bump into most of them now and again. Down the high road, shopping, that's all.
Do you like kids in general, Peter?
Why do you ask that?
Well, as schoolkeeper, you can hardly avoid them, can you? And before coming to North Hill, I believe you and your wife were house parents in a children's home?
We thought we could do some good.
In the children's home?
Yeah.
So, presumably, you like children?
Is that a crime?
No, of course not. But you and your wife don't have any of your own?
No, we don't.
Would there be some medical reason for that?
I decided we shouldn't. We decided. Everybody should think carefully before bringing children into the world. They're too precious to be bred like rabbits. You don't have to try and understand that. It's not a very macho point of view.
Does it mean you don't have a very high opinion of parents in general? That children are precious?
Don't you think so?
I'm trying to establish what you think, Peter.
Okay. Children are precious. They're special. They're alive, fresh, unspoilt. That's my view on children.
Unspoilt? You mean physically?
Every way. Their eyes shine. How many adults do you know whose eyes shine? Only pity is they have to change. Grow up.
Graham Butler didn't grow up, did he, Peter? Or Jenny Price? Did you know Jenny Price?
No, different school.
You never met her at all?
Not to my knowledge. Another nice kid, though, by all accounts.
What's your feeling about the man who murdered them? Peter?
Look, Maureen's going to be home in a minute. Can we do this somewhere else?
Social services, yeah. Jim, Jenny Price, the dog hairs on her sweatshirt. Do you remember what colour? Black and white. White?
Peter, when we were at your house, I asked you what your feeling was about the man who murdered Graham and Jenny. You didn't answer.
I haven't got words for it.
That surprises me. You seem to be an educated man.
1 O level.
All right, then. Articulate. Thoughtful. No disrespect to the job, but how come you're a schoolkeeper? I mean, house parent I can
A
understand.
wage, a house, no hassle.
And children. That seems to be the common factor.
Which is why I'm here, sitting in this chair, right? Nearly 40, no kids, works in a school, must be bent.
I never said that.
That's the mentality, though.
You're here of your own accord, Peter. If you want to leave, I can't stop you.
What's the point? I'd rather you talk to my face than behind my back.
Come in.
Excuse me, sir.
Thanks. I'm perfectly happy to talk to you, Peter. The more open we are with each other, the better. Social services comments on your resignation from the children's home. I wanted to be sure you didn't leave under a cloud. And as far as they're concerned, you didn't. You don't agree?
They're a bunch of mealy-mouthed bastards, if we're being open with each other.
You mean there was pressure on you to leave?
They were these lads, right? Grown up. Teenagers. Couple of girls as well. They're going out of an evening, coming back in with knives. Well out of order, so I pulled them up. Next thing I know, I've got complaints flying round my ears. I've been touching the little ones.
And had you?
Of course I touched them. I was a house parent. What parent doesn't touch his children?
But you weren't actually their parent, were you?
No, I was a bloody sight better than their actual parents. Where were they? A paralytic outside a pub, shooting up in some filthy public bog somewhere.
Right, agreed. But there's touching and touching, isn't there? In that situation, presumably the implication was something like indecent assault.
Right.
And there was no truth in that?
None whatsoever. It was all completely and utterly innocent.
So you were exonerated?
I was inquired into, doubted, my word against a group of yobs. No support, just doubt, harassment, concern. Then I was exonerated. So I told them to stuff their caring profession. Care, they don't know what the word means.
But your name's clear. Otherwise you wouldn't be at North Hill. I mean, the educational authorities are rightly careful.
Well, they've got no problem with me. Even in football practice, I only stand on the touchline. I've learnt my lesson. Don't touch. Don't even look. Because someone with evil in their minds is watching. That's the caring society. Just by not having a child of your own, you're an outcast.
And you resent that, obviously.
I see them outside the school gates. Real parents. Ones who are allowed to care. Totally ignore their own children. Look at this, Mum. It's my new reading book. Look, Mum, I got a star for me picture. Nothing. Till it comes to gossip, pointing the finger.
Children sometimes point the finger too, though, surely. They can be very cruel.
Children are what their parents make them. That's the curse of mankind.
Is there any solution to that, do you think? Peter? I suppose it could be a point of view that Graham and Jenny were saved in that respect, from being spoilt. What do you think, Peter? Is that valid?
I don't kill children. I love them. Right?
Harmless bloke, one blocks the labs. Touch the right button and he goes into orbit.
Yes, sir, but he's admitted nothing.
I think he will. He wants to talk to us. He was playing hard to get, but he's sitting there waiting. Maybe he was waiting before Jenny Price was killed. Let's hope not, shall we?
He's got a dog, sir. He had it at the time of the murders. A black and white mongrel. I didn't know.
I don't know whether to be pleased or sorry.
So this Angel guy seriously in the frame, is he? Pretty seriously, yeah. He's got Penny cautioning him now. You okay? Yeah. I'm just looking at myself in the face while I still can. Sorry. How many interviews have you done in the course of your career, Jim?
I don't know.
Hundreds, thousands. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and thought, God, if only I'd have asked him that? Interview of Mr. Peter Angel, conducted by DCI Ray. Also present DC's Lyons and Carver. Mr. Angel, this is just to remind you that you've already been cautioned.
Now, Peter, tell me about your dog.
It's not my dog.
Your wife's dog, then?
It's not ours. It's my sister's. We've been looking after it while she's been in and out of hospital.
Well, whoever it belongs to, you've had care of a dog for more than a couple of months now, yeah?
Off and on.
Peter, my understanding is that you were questioned as part of routine inquiries on the Graham Butler case, but not in respect of Jenny Price. Purely for my benefit now. Can you remember where you were the morning Jenny died? At about 8:45, say.
Weekday, wasn't it?
Tuesday the 31st, yeah.
I must have been in school bringing in the milk.
Actually, there was no school that day.
She went missing on her way to school. St. Eunice's.
St. Eunice's was open, but North Hill was shut. What they call a Baker Day, I believe, where the teachers come in and work, but the children don't.
If you say so.
Mrs. Quinn says so. She let you take the morning off.
So?
So, is it possible you took the dog for a walk?
No, definitely not. I never take the dog for a walk in the mornings.
When do you take it then?
Evenings. In the mornings I just let it out in the garden. And I've remembered where I went on the 31st.
Uh-huh.
We visited my sister in hospital.
Which hospital?
General.
So early?
Yeah, we had a call.
Which ward was she in?
Robertson.
Your sister would be able to confirm that, would she? Why is that?
Because she finally passed away 2 weeks ago. Cancer.
I see. I'm sorry.
That runs in the family. Doctors say it's not possible, but... There's no need to go all solemn. We're talking about the murder of 2 children here. My sister was 50 and riddled with cancer. Let's keep a sense of proportion.
You were more upset by the murders?
1,000 times.
What were your feelings when you heard about Graham? You said you couldn't say how you felt about the murderer, but how did you actually feel, inside yourself, when you heard the news?
None. That's all. I couldn't believe it. The mind's not big enough to cope, is it? Wasn't made for it.
Somebody's mind was, unfortunately. It's my job to find that person and to help him. Because he does need help. I understand that.
If you say so.
When you made your first statement to DC Lines, you said that on the evening Graham died, you were indoors watching television, on your own. Have you recalled anything about the evening since which would support that? Just a complete part of the picture for me, like what was on the box.
I never really watch it. It's just movie and wallpaper to me.
So you were reading, that sort of thing, while it was on?
Yeah. Reading, dozing.
And your wife was out all evening?
Visiting Karen, my sister.
So did you take the dog for a walk first?
What?
You said just now you take the dog out in the evenings. So presumably you took it out on the evening of the 15th?
No.
You didn't?
No, not on Sundays. Sundays, I take it in the afternoon. Gets it over with.
You don't like dogs much?
Not a lot.
Children do, though, don't they? Did Graham? Peter, I'm asking you a lot of questions. But if there's something you'd like to tell me, you just say it, okay? In your own time. Don't wait for me to ask. So where had you taken the dog that Sunday afternoon? Peter?
Canley Fields.
I'm sorry?
Canley Fields.
Canley Fields, where Graham's body was found. So you were actually on Canley Fields on the day of the murder, Peter. Is that what you're saying? Why hadn't you told DC Lines this?
Because I couldn't believe it.
Couldn't believe what, Peter?
Little Graham lying dead in the bushes where that stupid dog cocks its leg.
You're quite sure you and the dog and Graham weren't on Canley Fields at the same time? Think about it, Peter. Is that how it was?
If I'd have been there, I could have stopped it, couldn't I? Instead of dozing in front of the boxy television.
Isn't it possible you've got a bit mixed up, though? That would be very understandable. Perhaps you were there in the evening with Graham, and then you were at home in front of the television afterwards. Think about it again, Peter. Is that how it was?
Look at the state of me. Can I go and clean up a bit, get a bit of bog paper or something?
I'd rather you answer the question first.
I'm trying to answer your question, it just comes over me, whoosh.
But is it possible you're mistaken? Because you've been upset. Because of what happened to Graham. A simple mistake. You were on Canley Fields on the evening of the 15th, weren't you?
No, I've told you. I wish I was, but I wasn't. I'm going to wet myself if I don't move.
Take Peter to the washroom, please, Tosh.
What a sight.
Peter, I would ask you this, like I'd ask you if you nicked a packet of crisps. Did you kill those 2 children? Peter? Did you kill those children? Oh, did you? Did you kill...
Tell us about the Sunday evening, Peter. Tell us about Graham, and the rest will follow. It'll be easy. You were with Graham on the Sunday evening, weren't you?
Yes.
What happened?
I was at home, on my own. He knocked at the door about 7:20.
Graham called at your house? Were you expecting him?
No. He'd been to a friend's house a couple of streets away. School's on his way home.
Why did he come then?
To say hello. See Mitch.
Mitch?
The dog. He was crazy about dogs, but his parents didn't want one. Didn't want him either, come to that. He'd heard we'd been looking after Mitch that weekend, so he wanted to take him for a walk. 3 of us. Mitch, Graham, and me.
So you went to Canley Fields?
No. That's the point. We didn't go. Me and a young boy, walking in the gloaming, throwing sticks for a dog, showing affection. I couldn't risk that, could I? I didn't have the guts to give him friendship, so I sent him on his way. And because of that, he's dead. That's the guilt I want to share with you, Mr. Ray.
Excuse me, sir. Can I have a word? Martella's just called from the hospital. The ward sister remembers Angel. They thought the woman was dying, so they let him and his wife in at 8:30 a.m. with the dog.
The hospital confirmed your visit to your sister on the day in question. Interview now terminated. Okay, Peter. Thanks for your time. Once you've seen the custody sergeant, we'll get you home. Mike, get a hold of Tom Penny and then take Mr. Angel upstairs and give him a cup of tea until we get him a car.
If you'd like to come this way, Mr. Angel. Mr. Angel?
Satisfied?
Yes, sir. I love crucifixions.